Let them know I hit that stage. I done made my plays all day. Now tell me what's next. Let them know I paid my way. I done made my case okay. Now tell me what's next. Let them know I pay my dues. Pay my crew. True. Tell me what's next. Let them know I broke them rules. Drop them jewels.
Yo, what's up, world? Y'all know who it is. Your boy Jay Smiley. Welcome back to the EYNF podcast. Before we get started, y'all know I gotta shout out the best podcast team in the podcast world. Minus two, Meg, Noonie B. We gonna hold it down for y'all for sure. But without further ado, world, I have the hottest dynamic duo coming out of Cincinnati, Ohio, y'all. I mean, where do I start? I mean, the two-piece spicy, bro. I mean, we're gonna call it the Bud Crawford right now. This is the Bud Crawford episode. You know what I mean, y'all? It's the dynamic duo, y'all. I mean, you got the left
Popeyes
and
on
the right.
Tuesday.
Smash and dash, you know what I'm saying? Run and gun, y'all. We have literally, y'all, one of the hottest artists coming out of Cincinnati, y'all. I mean, he's getting radio play on Cincinnati Radio 1 station, 101.1 The Wiz. I mean, he has one of the hottest managers in the game / producers, multi-talented, y'all. Y'all, world, I'm very honored to bring in my family, Ohio's very own, Kyrie and Aviator Hughes, y'all. Welcome to the show, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Here,
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
yeah.
Hey, y'all, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm the king of intros. I promise you. If I don't do nothing else right, I'm a
Excellent.
look. I'm D Wade.
Excellent.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna throw the oop, and I'm gonna be looking back at y'all for sure. So, but welcome to the show, y'all. We definitely appreciate y'all joining us and having y'all on the show. Before we get started, I definitely want to take this time before we even talk about anything for y'all to just promote yourselves. You know what y'all working on. I know we're gonna dive into a lot of stuff y'all working on, but just to give a little quick intro of who y'all are, just so the world know who we talking to.
Yeah, man. So Kyrie, like you said, BTB, BTB Entertainment represented. Just dropped the album, The World's a Stage. So that's the main thing that we're pushing right now. We're gonna push this
Fire.
till we can't no more, and that's the biggest goal with any piece of art that we put out. We take our time with it, and we also take our time with giving it out to people because it's always a new person that can hear it across the world. So that's our main thing with the art, the longevity, and that's what it is right now.
No.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, and I go by the name of Aviator Hughes. I am Kyrie's manager, also / producer for this project. The manager hat does come first. I know some people have kind of questioned or asked that. No, management comes first. Like literally, production is something that I've done almost over a decade, but it's been in my own leisure. That's my calm space. Some people may take a sip, some people may take a tote. For me, it's like firing up a machine and hitting the keys and stuff. So, but we're definitely pushing this project. As you see right here, we have some great promo. The playbill, the official playbill for the World to Stage.
And
So
put it on the screen some more. Put it on the screen some more.
yeah, you
Flip
know what I'm
that,
saying?
y'all.
Like
Yeah.
it's an official playbill though, but we
There you
designed on
go.
the inside, and you got the
Dope.
cast on there, which is like the features. You got the actual playbill you can follow along. QR code in the back. Nobody go ahead and steal that. That's us. We are the first. But we're really focused on pushing this project because being that it is in a couple of days will be the 50th anniversary of hip hop. This project is the first hip hop audio stage play. So we're very proud of that as well. So the world to stage. That's the goal. That's what we're pushing right now, and that's the agenda. So.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. I
That's what's
love
up,
the
man.
self intros, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all gave us a little insight about y'all that we can tap into later on in the show. So I definitely appreciate it.
No doubt.
But
No doubt.
as y'all know, it's all fellows on the show with the one lady. So Miss Cece, we're gonna let you kick off the episode for us real quick. Ladies
Thank
first.
you. You
Of
guys are
course.
such gentlemen. First off, let me say thank you to both of you being on our show tonight. It means a lot. I'm gonna ask a question for you both. I don't care who decides to answer it first. But what got you into music? What started it all?
For me, it was like I always just was around it, from a young age. When I was 5, 6 years old, I was always in the studio with my pops, and he was like this. He was like a pseudo manager for like all his homies in the hood, and so I would just always be around him. My dad didn't rap at all, but he always had the ear, so I was just always around him like a sponge, soaking up everything. So from time I was about 5, 6 years old, I was in the studio around all my uncles while they were rapping, making music, and I just always just was immersed into hip hop, and down in the dungeon, getting put on game to different types of music, digging in the crates with my pops, and just really, being immersed into hip hop, as well as like my grandparents, playing like records back when I every time I went over their house every weekend, they would play records, 70s records, and I'd just be going through those with my grandpa, and just like from a young age, just was immersed in it. So I just think from a very early age, I just always loved music. That's all I knew was music, and so it was just natural for me to make music myself, and that's when I ended up going to the studio. When I was about 9 years old, making my first record, like actually being in the studio, getting it recorded, after 3 years of just watching how it's done, I just felt like I just had a knack for it. And then once I heard my voice play back, I fell in love. That's when it was over with. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. So that's how I really got started.
What's
Dope,
up?
dope.
For me, music has always been a passion. It's always been a love. My mom used to play a lot of music. You guys know me and Josh, we are family. I am Big Bro. But like even like over I'm gonna refer to her as Aunt Vaughn. Even as we would go over there and as a kid, and there always be music playing on Fridays. Pepsi's being popped. Pepsi's the drink of choice. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, right,
Throwback.
throwback. But like, I've always been around music, and I started to pursue it, writing probably around age 13 or 14. Um, got with a collective in Columbus called the A-Bots. They were the production tandem. I was the artist. We worked together for around about 3 years, and I went off to college, did the college thing, and then that kind of got derailed because I was out doing what I was supposed to be doing and not studying. I'll just leave it at that. And end up pursuing music for real. And was an artist. I did my thing. Got to travel. Got to make certain strides in the game and everything. But eventually, I ended up putting that down and picked up production because it was weird at one point where I'm trying to record a song, trying to get back to it, trying to get back in the game and everything like that. And my son is like pulling on my pants, like, "Dad, I need some juice," and I'm like, "Yeah, I can't rap no more. Like, this is done." So like to get that creative energy out, I went to production, and that's how I get that creative energy out as far as music. But that's pretty much my musical journey in a sense, in like
Nice.
a nutshell.
Dope, dope,
That's dope.
dope,
That's
dope,
what's up.
dope. I like that. I like that, and I like how the fact how Aviator Hughes tied in that little nostalgic memory for sure, because that's what it was. Like fam used to have. I mean, it was always a party. Always,
Yep.
it was always some music
Yep.
going, somebody grilling, some vinyl being played, whatever the case may be. It was that was just a vibe for sure. So
Yep.
I'm nowhere near the musical genius that these two are, but based off of that memory he just shared, definitely is the reason why I have a love for music too. So thank you for that. Appreciate that, bro.
Mhm.
My question is for Kyrie. The album, first of all, I definitely want to say the album is dope.
Yes,
Thank
World,
you.
sir.
check out the world's a stage, literally. Out on all platforms. It's amazing from beginning to end. If you listen to it, it's a very, very, very deep message. But with that being said, with all the work you put into it, and I'm pretty sure you put your blood, sweat, and tears and your heart into it for sure, both of you all.
Mhm.
Kyrie, what's your favorite song on the album? And behind your favorite song, what inspired you with that song to make that song? I should say.
Ooh, um, man, it changes up so much. Right now, mm, I would say Father's Day right now, uh, because that record just every time I hear, I just remember the space I was when I was writing. It was like we literally about to turn the album in, probably like in the next 2 days, and I'm like, nah, I gotta get this record out. And when I started writing it, I'm like, oh yeah, this one of the ones. And I had to dig deep into 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 his beat folder that he sent me probably like months ago just to find this beat, because the beat was probably you made this beat um some years ago.
Yeah, that
And
beat was
then
about 3 years old,
I started
4 years old.
I started writing, and I knew I wanted to touch on like, the role of being a father and how it affects my artistry, and just being on the road constantly, and missing vital time with my kids, and then because I just had a newborn girl too, so missing like
Right.
vital time with them was just like kind of like made me feel away, you know what I'm saying, and I just had to get that, be vulnerable in that moment with that song, and put it out there. But also it's something where I wanted to touch on my relationship with my own father, and how he pushed me so hard, and that's why I am the way I am. That's why I go out and do what I do, and go out on the road and put so much work into my craft, because that's how I was brought up. Playing basketball, being in the gym 24/7. I was just ingrained to like be ambitious. So it was just like this twofold thing where how does your ambition affect your family? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's what the whole thing was about. So I would say that's my favorite record right now. Right now.
I like that. I like that. I like that. And the fact that it changes is dope because I can't pick one. I can't pick one song that I like the most. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I felt like I told bro, I'm like, man, y'all teased this man with the first track, man, Overture and the world's a stage, and it was like you keep listening to it, and it's like, okay, you hit slow intermission. It's like, all right, y'all gave us another little tease, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yep.
all right, so I like both of those tracks. Then you got
Mm-hmm.
Check. I mean, Check. I could listen
Yeah.
to that every day, literally. So to
Every
your
day.
Yeah.
point, it really just depends on the vibe and like how you feeling. You can hit them with smoke screen if you feel like, you know what I'm saying, do a little something a little quick, real quick,
Mm-hmm.
it's so many different vibes, bro. So, if you
Yeah.
really want to hear like something soulful, it's you got a lot of different spins. So I agree
Yeah.
with your favorite song changes. I agree for sure.
And
Yeah.
then also, I just want to throw in on the end of that, like it's a moment. Like I literally snuck downstairs, so we was at his crib recording that song, and that second verse he didn't have it written, so we had the first verse written, and we came up with the hook. I think like the night before, the day before, whatever. So he's trying to knock that second verse out. He's literally holding his daughter, like rocking her, like and writing. I'm like, bro, if this ain't dedication, like this verse better be
Wow.
fired. And he came upstairs and spit, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, like I'm like, man, you literally wrote that vote. I mean, like, you literally wrote that verse holding his daughter. So
Wow.
that was just like a
That's
moment,
dope.
Like I'll
That's
always remember in
crazy.
this process of putting this together. Like that's dedication. Like he's
Yeah.
holding his kid, newborn, putting her to sleep, and still writing this
Wow.
amazing verse that people are really gravitated towards. So salute to you, man.
That's
Thank
motivation
you.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely motivation.
He went to Best Buy,
That's
ran up his credit. He missing
ran it
himself.
up.
Hey, for
Hey,
real.
shout out.
For real though. Like for
Hey,
real.
Yes,
shout
Man,
sir.
out. Shout out to
Real
Best Buy,
stories.
man. For
that's,
real.
that's my question is for Aviator. What did you
Okay.
see in Kyrie to make you get behind him?
Hmm.
Um, for me, it was the artistry. So being that I am an MC, I can't say former. I can still rap. I just choose not to. But being that I'm an MC and stuff like that, is the way he flowed and everything like that. The way he put his similes and his punchlines together. The metaphors and everything. I'm like, oh, he nice. He nice. Like I'm like, he's like me 3.0. He's more polished. You know what I'm saying? He's been doing it longer. Like his verse, his rhyme pattern, his skill level was just there. And I'm like, wow, like this kid is amazing. So I literally sought him out. The first record I heard was the All That record. Like he was pushing that around that time, and I heard that, and then I think maybe like that like put him on my radar, and I'm like, okay, let's see what else he does. The next record I caught wind of was the Art of Ignorance. I gotta find him. I gotta find him. And and like I literally like ran into him October 2020. Was it 2020? October
Shit. It
2020?
was like 2019.
2019? Yep, you're right. You're right. It was
Yeah.
2019. Yep, it was 2019. It was right before the pandemic. But and I ran into him. I'm like, yo, like my name's Aviator Hughes. Kari. He's like Kyrie. I'm like, my bad. Yeah, we gotta work, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you dope, you dope. He just sitting there looking at me like, who's this dude? That was like our first interaction. But like when I first heard like that first record, all that, I'm like, okay, like that's nice. Then the Art of Ignorance. If anybody hasn't heard that, go look it up in his catalog.
Yep,
Hype record, like
yep.
amazing. Like the lyricism, the video of it, the video of it, like was so amazing to me. I was like, I have to find him. So it was really his skill and his talent, man. It reminded me of myself in a sense, but also just so much better, like just so much better. So I just had to work with him, you know.
He
Like he was different,
reminds he
and like he is different.
reminds me he reminds me a lot of listening to this album. He reminds me a lot of JID, Absol, and I see a little Kendrick in there.
I was
Yeah,
definitely waiting on it.
I see a little
yeah,
Kendrick. I see a little Kendrick
yeah,
in there.
yeah,
Definitely, the Father's Day reminds me a lot of Kendrick. It's a
yeah.
lot of Kendrick in there. The way he writing his verse, he rapping his verse. He goes to do the little singing on the hook, and
Mm.
that song is phenomenal.
You you can tell
Yeah.
the emotions was all laid out, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Facts,
Thank you.
facts,
So
facts.
let me hold on. First off, what's good to y'all, man? It's your boy Jay Black.
Energy,
Had to get it
energy.
in. Had to let it know what it is.
Okay.
And welcome. And welcome, man.
Facts.
But
Yes, sir.
it's been great, man. I just started listening to y'all album 2 weeks ago. It's definitely a hit. I'm definitely a fan. Uh, for both of you, this is a question for both of you, and I guess you can go in alphabetical order. So, Aviator, so you can go. What is
Okay.
what is no, so let us know. Let us know, man. Take us through a little ride. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? What is your background? Like your roots. What built you up to become who you are today?
Um, Genetics plays a huge part, and I think that's something we don't understand a lot. Like we are genetic chromosomes from two individuals. So my father grew up in Mississippi. He was adventurous. He was that guy, and he was also involved in music. He loved music. Like the record collection we had at the crib was his collection before he passed, and he just loved music. My mom, on the other hand, she is a little more stern and forward. So I think that's where I kind of get some of my business acumen from. You know, so putting that together, and Josh is smiling. He knows how she is. Like um, putting those two people together pretty much essentially made me. And also, like my dad, he was just a smooth talker. You know, he was laid back, was chilled, didn't raise his voice a lot. Da, da, da. So that's like part of the yang. And then on the other side, the yang of my mom, she'll call you out on your, what I'm saying, without a heartbeat and like
On the
let you know
BS.
about it. So that balance together, I feel like brings me to the point where I am now, and everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like this at this point, I feel like our journey is destined, man. Like the stuff that just happens is destined, man. Like I, he just met the mayor like this weekend and got a picture. You know what I'm saying? The mayor knows who he is now because of
That's dope.
relationships and
That's
Bootsy
dope. That's
Collins.
dope.
You know, like
Yeah,
radio, like more Radio One. Man, it's destined. It's really
it's
destined.
destined.
So
Yeah,
hopefully I answered the question, but I mean
yeah.
essentially like that's my background as far as that. But also I am a former athlete, track and field, Eastmore Academy track and field at UC for a little bit. Um, so that brings in the competitive aspect and like that
Hmm.
drive. Because I feel like all athletes we all have in common is like whether you're playing basketball and your coach is running you through gashers and stuff like that. You know what it takes to get to the end of that. What I'm saying, exercise to really muster through. So brings a lot of mental dexterity. So it's one of the things
Hmm.
that like I feel like that's also a part of me because on this journey you have to be prepared. There's going to be L's, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. So with everything that I am, and also as a person, I am a father. I am a producer. I am a manager. I am a son. I am a cousin. I am a good person. I have a good heart. All that goes into really the output that we're putting out there in the universe. And because of it being such a positive thing, you guys are seeing rewards that, we're able to get back from that. So that's
That's what's up.
that's my answer, essentially.
No, that was good. That was great, actually, bro.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, Modi. I
Thank you.
call him Modi too, by the way. That's it's manager of the year. And it's Pody too. Modi and Pody, producer of the year, manager of the year. Modi
Yeah.
Pody.
I love that. I
Cute.
love that. That's
uh,
dope. That's dope.
Not taking that. I mean, taking that same approach for me. Like, you know, I grew up with my mom and my pops, and my pops, he's from Cali, from the Bay Area. He moved here when he moved to Cincinnati when he was about 13, and met my mom when he was about 15, 16. My mom had me when she was 17. So I had young parents growing up. So I was kind of growing up with them. Uh, and my pops was like the stern, like philosophical dude too, like real, like, you know, would question everything about life. He's the one I get all my, you know, where I question everything from, and don't
He's
take
the one
nothing
speaking
at
on
face
Father's
value.
Day, by the way, too. That's him giving the game of the analogy of
Yeah,
the stove
yeah,
and the
that's
oven.
him.
Uh,
So that,
That's
you
him.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
that's my
his,
pops at the beginning.
yeah.
Mm,
Like super
mm.
philosophical dude, real tough, real like strong presence. And then my mom is like she I would say I get my creative lens from her, and like the knack to dream. Like, you know, she's very creative. She can she's very good with like crafts and drawing and putting things together. Great cook, you know, all that. Like, she knows how to put stuff together. And so like the mesh of that, I think, is kind of where my artistry came about from. And, you know, they always were on me. I grew up in like rough environments out here in Cincinnati, but I always say I was good because I had both parents in the home, and a lot of my friends didn't have that. They lived with their grandmothers, or they had, like, you know, single parents that, you know, and a lot of times my friends would come to my house for like a getaway from like their situations and stuff, you know, because of other things that they were going through in the neighborhood. But, you know, I just grew up. I saw a lot of things growing up, you know, saw a lot of my uncles, you know, did what they did. They went to jail, all that stuff, you know, and I was just observing all of it. And through that observation, I think that's where I kind of gathered like my perspective, and being able to tell these different stories that I tell that y'all may hear on the album. I was able to gain that perspective. And I also was just I just soak up my surroundings. So, you know, going through the different things that I went through, my family went through, I just kind of want to I took it upon myself to be like a voice for that with my music. I never wanted to just talk about nothing. I always wanted to talk about something and talk about my family, my roots, and all that. So that's really my background and how I got to be where I'm at. You know, as an athlete as well. I ended up playing basketball in Canada for about a month before I got cut because they said I was too short. And then that's when I came back home and really put the pedal to the metal with the music. So, and since then, you know, the last 4 years of this journey has been incredible, and that's what the album really represents. You know, it's like the last 4 years of this journey.
Definitely.
dope.
I definitely appreciate both of those answers, and definitely can see the growth in both. And just to go off of that, your story is still going. The story is not even ended. You know
Mm-hmm.
what you brought up
Right.
from all your beginnings and your roots is still been building you up to who you is today and who you still going to become years later. So that's
100%.
that's a great answer, man. That's a great reflection and all. We're gonna go in reverse real quick. So let me just go and ask another question, then we're gonna go back in reverse real quick.
I got you.
Um,
Rewind.
so look, reverse.
Who know
Rest in peace to
reverse
him.
card?
Rest in peace to that man too, man.
Absolutely.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
That's
exactly.
crazy,
He
Yes,
man.
passed
That's a
away.
facts.
legend.
Rest in
That's a
peace for
legend.
sure.
He
Yeah,
Um,
brought a
man. He
lot of joy to
changed.
black families, you know what I'm saying? And
oh
black
man,
Yeah,
families.
he
he
changed
did.
it, man.
Cookouts,
Man, oh, look, all the
Yeah.
cookouts,
family
all the
reunions,
receptions,
class reunions,
everything, man,
everything. Rest in
everything,
peace, man, for sure.
man, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no need for me to ask what gets you in your zone because I can pretty much take it from your story. What brings you, what puts you in that mode. So I want to
Mhm.
ask, since music is life, right? Um, what what would your theme song for every day be for your life, and the meaning behind it? What is
Mm.
the meaning behind the theme song of your everyday life?
I want to
Yeah,
answer that
yeah.
question.
That's a
Get.
good
I mean,
question.
hey, you can answer after them, though. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, no.
Let's get you
That's
going,
a
man.
that's
Look,
a good question. Yeah.
the
That's an
moment I
amazing
see
question.
the moment I see him do this, I knew I got him. So I'm gonna let
Okay,
you go.
okay,
Yeah, you
okay.
got
I
me
like
thinking
this. I
about
like
that.
this. Um, Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
tough.
would say. Mm,
It could be anything too. It don't have to be just your music. It could be any
right.
song,
No,
any
I'm
theme in the
thinking of
world.
something else that like just resonate with me. Um, you know what? I'll say Peebo Bryson, Feel the Fire.
Let me write this down.
Peebo Bryson,
Hey,
Feel the Fire.
he went Peebo. Okay, I gotta write that
Yeah,
one down.
yeah.
I
And
gotta
I'm gonna have
feel it
to
to
listen to that.
understand it.
so like
Facts.
with that record, that's like top 10 for me, like one of my favorite songs of all time. And I just think that record is good because, or I feel it resonates with my life because it's like I've been through the fire. You know what I mean? I've been through everything. I felt all the like the bad things that may have happened, so-called bad things. We may look at it as bad in that moment, but when you make it through the fire, once you feel it and you recognize it, you come out stronger. And by the end of that song, like, cause I be singing that with my chest. Every time I turn that on, I sing it with my whole soul. And when it's done, I be feeling like once I'm done singing the song, I be feeling like I really just went through the fire and I came out strong. Like after hearing that song. So anytime I'm feeling a certain way, I cut that song on, if I can, and just really like, all right, yeah, I felt everything I was feeling. I'm good now. Let's get back busy. Let's get to it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that
Okay,
one.
okay.
I like that. I like that.
Get that noodle
Um,
moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna say two, and it's gonna date myself, but I hold my age and youthful look and with no badge of
Here we
honor.
go.
But
Get some James.
Black
Get
don't
some James
black don't
Brown.
crack.
black don't
Hey,
crack. You
Peebo.
understand me? But nah, two records comes to mind. One is Redman, I'll Be That.
Mm.
Main reason is
Mm.
because like when people say stuff about you, they may have a certain perception or like, oh, he think he that. I'll be that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I handle like a lot of stuff. Like man, like and just within this business and stuff, a lot of times, not even with this business in life, people don't want you to do other things outside of the lens or scope that they see you in, right? So people, some people are like, oh, well, he's a manager. He ain't supposed to be doing beats. Y'all ain't say that about Puff when he started the whole label and started tap dancing and singing and
Right.
rapping, like, right, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Can't stop.
y'all
Won't
ain't say that
stop.
about Jay when Jay was, starting Rockefeller, and then next he evolved into clothing. He wasn't a fashion guru. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'll be that means a lot to me, because, in a sense, everybody has haters, and admirers. I like admirers, as I like to call them. But that record resonates a lot with me because when people say stuff or like, "Oh, how you doing this?" or "He can't do," all right, I'll be that. You know what I'm saying? And the second record, I had to look his name up because I played so much, but I didn't want to butcher his name. But Reverend Paul Jones. It's a gospel
Mm-hmm.
record called "I Won't
Mm-hmm.
Complain."
Mm.
Mm.
Now you talking about singing it to the top of your,
Hey, come
like, you
on.
feeling
Yes,
it?
sir.
That's that joint right
Yes,
I've
sir.
there.
had some good days.
Good
Don't,
day.
don't get me started. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Don't give it. Don't put us in church now.
Hey,
You know
hey,
what I'm saying?
hey.
But like,
Come on.
the power of that record and just within life in general, we are gonna have trials and tribulations. You know what I'm
Amen.
saying? But at the end of the day, when you look at your situation and not even in perspective of someone else, but in the perspective of where you were before, I won't complain. Like
Mm.
that's so like I know you said one, but those are my two.
No, it
Like
don't matter.
That's
That's
really
what
nice.
resonates to you. Hey,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what's up, man. Hey, no, I'm feeling that. Hey, before y'all move on, y'all got any? Y'all got songs for y'all? For y'all team?
Uh,
Oh man, I
Jim
gotta think
Jones,
about
we set
mine.
the trends.
Hey, we set the trend. Hey, bringing them
we
in.
we set the
Throwing
trends.
that
We
throwing
set the
that
Okay.
trends
caution.
around
Yeah,
this mug, man.
I got
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I
I
was
got one.
yeah,
I got one for me. It change every day. I tell you that, but
yeah.
majorly, I have to go with Big Crit Energy.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Big Crit
Okay.
Hey,
Energy.
I
The
love
way,
some crit. I love crit. I
yes,
love
sir.
That's
crit.
a
Big fan of Crit.
Nah, Crit, my
that's a
God.
beautiful record, man. Like
It's beautiful, man. It
It
puts you
is.
in a
It is.
uplifting, and especially fresh in the morning, it gives you an uplifting, successful feeling. Like, you know what? Thank you for that energy from the sunrise. I'm ready to conquer the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a
absolutely,
Yeah.
good uplifting song,
absolutely,
man. I had to share that with y'all.
I like
Nah,
that.
absolutely.
that's
I
fun.
like
Love
that.
that. Love that.
I don't know if y'all
Okay,
got one.
okay, okay. You got one, CC? Josh?
I
Y'all got
don't
one?
know. I don't know. I gotta seriously think.
Okay,
I would,
bring it back.
I
We can
would
bring
have
that
to,
back then.
I would definitely have to, we could
Yeah, I gotta
definitely
think.
spin the block on that one because you're gonna be thinking
Okay.
about that one now because that's
Yeah.
definitely a good question for sure. I'm gonna
I
be
mean,
Yeah.
when you
pondering on that
asked
one.
the question, the first thing that came to my head was the Golden Girls theme song, and I'm like, okay,
Doom,
I'm
doom, doom,
friends.
doom, doom. Thank you for being a friend. Doom, doom,
Why are we the
doom,
I
same
was
doom.
person
like,
right now?
that's
For
a
that
theme
not to be
song.
like an actual like
It's a
radio
thing.
song or like you know what I'm saying, like it's a theme
Yeah,
song to
It's a
yeah,
like to
thing.
like a TV show, but the lyrics, that's like shows the power of lyrics. Like
Yes,
that
exactly,
yes.
that is whew, that is
Yeah.
a if that is your choice,
exactly.
that's a good one. Like that is good.
Yes,
I'm gonna say that's one of my choices because I do get
Okay.
up sometimes and I sing that. That's in my head. I'm like, okay, travel
right.
down the road and
I'll
back,
be
and
I'll be
I'm in
remixing
it.
it.
Right.
Baby, start from the
Right,
bottom.
The
Now we're here
remix.
right.
now.
The remix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The remix.
Hey, y'all some fools. Y'all funny as hell. I can't. Yeah, I cannot think of one. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. If I had to think of a song off top of my head, I still probably couldn't even do it right now. So I'm gonna get back to y'all.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to that too, Josh. So I'm gonna hold you
Yeah,
to it. It's coming.
yeah, I got y'all for sure. But I'm gonna go ahead and hop in real quick. These questions are amazing. I love the fact that y'all are going deep with it for sure. Y'all got me over here thinking like, man, like
Pause.
the pause. Got me thinking,
Uh,
got me thinking beyond my
will we
natural
ever
thought
retire that in
process.
culture?
No,
Will
No,
that ever
never.
be retired?
nope,
No,
Never,
No, it's
never,
not.
never,
Okay.
no,
never,
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 never.
never. No.
never.
So
I'll
thank
quote
you.
a J. Cole line then. Like,
Yeah.
man,
I'm gonna
I
be
didn't hit too
80
many
years old.
to be. I didn't hit too
Pause.
many
Said I'm gonna
to
be.
be on that pause.
Right.
So
Ah,
I'm gonna
Right.
leave it at
Hey,
that.
hey.
Oh
Oh,
man.
Yeah, that needs to retire at some point.
Ooh,
Man,
that's funny.
something, right? But no, my question, like we talked about the album, we learned a lot about y'all. The questions are great, but you're doing something right now that a lot of artists can't do, and that's tap into the radio play. And that's huge, right? Like I said in the intro, shout out to radio, Cincinnati Radio One Station and 101.1 The Wiz. Like thank y'all, you know what I'm saying, for recognizing talent and putting this man in rotation. And the video, you going crazy listening to it outside your car, bro. Like that's motivation for me, you know what I'm saying, just individually. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's for everybody, but to see the joy and the excitement that you experience, like that makes me keep getting in front of this camera so I can have that same excitement when someone
Yeah.
recognizes us, you know what I mean? So like with that being
mm-hmm.
said, like how did you tap into that space? Because I know, I mean, streams is you throw your stuff on Apple Music and all that stuff, YouTube, people gonna listen to it, you promote it. But how did you tap into that world of the radio play?
Man, you know, the biggest thing that I've learned and what Modi taught me for real is like the relationships. We just built relationships, like genuine relationships. And it was a time where the radio here in our city, they weren't really tapped in with us, you know what I mean? And that was cool. It's no knock on them. I just had to get more motion. And that motion for us looked like, all right, let's get out the city, let's do some things, let's hit Atlanta, let's hit North Carolina, let's go overseas. Let's do all this thing. Let's keep working. Don't get mad that your city not playing you. Make them hear you. And I think that was the biggest thing. And you know, once we tapped into that mindset of building relationships with people, actually being there for people, like, yo, what can I do for you? Like if it's a DJ, let me send you some drops, or I'm gonna pull up to your event. I'm gonna chop it up with you. It's more about it's bigger than just play my record, or even it's big for me. It's bigger than just like throwing a DJ bread just to pay my record because I want it to be genuine. I want you to actually like the record. And shout out to DJ EZ down at the Wiz.
Mm-hmm.
He been tapped in from afar with me for the last 2 years, and now that he in this position with the Wiz, he's now able to bring some power to that. And that's what it is, man. Just building those relationships and being authentic and seeing what you can do for others. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
That's dope.
and to piggyback off that too, like relationships are key. We had the privilege and honor of having Radio One program director in Columbus to the listening session we did in Columbus, Divine, and she played a huge role in this as well because by her even giving us that's the thing too. When people give you their time, in a sense, give them the respect. You know what I'm saying? Because like she gave us her time, like on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't on air. She was about to be moving and grooving and stuff. So the fact that she came through and she actually genuinely listened to the music and she heard records and she was like, "Yo, this is amazing. Who are you working with in Cincinnati? Da, da, da. How you guys been getting the airplay?" And at the time, we got some spins like Eve, the record from his previous body of work was being played down there sometimes and everything. But she helped us get check off the ground. Gave us information for email and everything to send it down there. So yet again, relationships, man. Relationships are so key, and not only are we thankful for her influence, we're also thankful for the influence of DJ EZ, Tropicana, there at the Wiz, Chris Harris, who's the PD,
Mm-hmm.
DJ Diamond,
Yep.
Jado. Like a lot of people played a part, to get to this point. But like the point I don't want artists to miss is that you have to have motion. You have to be doing something. You have to catch their ear because you want it to be organic. It was an organic process for us because we put in the footwork for them to see what we're doing, and then it was like, okay, well, dang, he's doing a lot, or like they might have heard about him through somebody else. Like literally, they heard outside of Easy, who's been tapped in for a minute. Shout out DJ Easy, he's been tapped in
Mm-hmm.
for a minute. But outside of him, we had to go to another city, and that city's like, yo, y'all need to play him. Y'all
Right.
need to check him out. He's in y'all city. He's hot. So it comes down to relationships, hard work, and patience.
Yeah. And I think even
Always
to
who
add
you know.
with the organic, like it was all organic because we didn't even know the record was being played on the Wiz at
Nah.
first. Like people was hitting me up like, "Yo, you on the radio?" I'm like, "What?" And it was just like that just proves like when you moving and you out there, doing for self organically, the people that's the tastemakers gonna put you in front of the people. So I think like the biggest thing is just staying true to your brand, man, and staying organic.
No doubt.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, I
So
like that. I like that.
speaking
Good job.
about relationships, y'all out here building relationships. My question is, what's the craziest number y'all got in y'all phone?
Let's take a sip of water.
It just
Go
got
ahead,
hot in
shake it up a little bit.
here.
Go ahead, shake it up a little bit.
4, 5, 6, real quick.
Kyrie, you can go first.
He was bold with the question, straightforward.
Bro, I'm trying to think because it's some wild. Hold
Look,
on, because
we done
He
been
trying not to
around
go through the
and
phone like
that's
moved
what
how
I'm
it.
long,
You
trying
know
to
what I'm
man?
think.
saying?
Like, yo, um,
They
dang,
deep
bruh.
in thought. Look, they over there got to scroll through their
I
phone.
don't.
Hold on, let me see.
I think this
That's,
question might. I mean, like Kyrie, you think on it like I'll answer, but I mean, with my tenureship in the business, I've been in the business for 14 years now, so um, I've come across a lot of people. Uh, the 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 most interesting number I have in my phone would have to be the artist Carlay. I didn't know her name was Carlay. I knew her as Jerica, but that's Thug's girlfriend.
Mm.
That's probably like the craziest number I got on my phone, and I want to clarify this. One, I am a fan of Young Thug. I've never called the number. It was really like it wasn't like I pushed down on her and like gave her the ghost face and yo what's up, man? No, it was nothing like that.
Yo,
Like it was nothing like
yo.
that. You know what I'm saying? Thug, free Thug, especially the information that was leaked this morning because of the Trump thing. Not to give Trump anything, but
Right,
that's a contradiction in law. But free
right,
Thugger.
right,
Um,
Definitely free thug.
right, for real.
free yeah,
for
free
sure.
Thugger. So I was at a concert in Atlanta that associate was throwing, and she gave me backstage passes and whatnot. I was there to see Childish Major. My Childish Major is nice to me. I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, like, let me go see this kid in concert and stuff.
yeah.
So I was there to do that, and I made my way backstage. Through the connect. Shout out to Aneka down there in Atlanta. She's doing her thing. But ended up taking someone with me, a girl I interned with when I was doing PR real heavy, and we were backstage and stuff, and she knew her through Harold's, which is obviously a Chicago thing, but they have them down there in Atlanta, Harold's Ice Bar, so she knew her from that, and she's like, oh my God, Carly, what's that? How you doing? I'm sitting there watching them interact, and I'm like, who's that? Like, I'm like, oh, like, let me try to get this, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then in that moment, RP Lil Keed, he walks up, you know what I'm saying, and they start interacting. I'm like, who's this dude? Like, I wasn't tapped in like that. Who's this dude? Like, who's this little young thug dude? It was Lil Keed. You know, he did drops and everything for it and everything. So they're about to separate, and basically she's like, yo, Carly, let me get your number. Da da da. She was like, all right, cool, bet. She bought her phone. Her phone's dead. So she's like, hey, Hughes, let me see your phone. Da da da. I'm like, all right, I can give it to her. She put the phone number in there. Da da da. So later on that night, we leave. The concert's over, and she was like, yo, like, let me get that number. I'm like, yo, who was that? She was like, Carly. I'm like, who's Carly? Like, oh, she raps with Thug. Da da da. That's Thug's girlfriend. I'm over there like, man, that's not Thug. That's Jericho.
That's
She
crazy.
was like, no, like that's Jericho. Carly's a rap name, and I'm like, oh snap, like, and I'm looking at the number. I'm like, yeah, I ain't never calling that
Yo.
out of respect. I don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Right.
man love that girl. I don't have no business calling, but that's probably the most random, weirdest number I have on my phone. There's others, but that takes the cake for real.
Shit. Mine. I got Chance the Rapper's childhood best friend's number. Like crazy. I was, bruh. Remember this? Remember I told you this?
Yep, yep.
Man,
You
we
were in
was in. I
Chicago
was
for
in
that
Chicago. Yeah,
that Kendrick Lamar
and
concert.
yeah. I went to the Kendrick concert in Chicago, and we ended up going to like this brunch spot, and he was one of the bartenders, and we just got to talk about. I was like, because I had the shirt on the Kendrick, so he said, "You went to the concert?" I was like, "Yeah." Ooh, ooh. I got to talk about music, and I was like, "Yo, I do music too." I put out my QR code or whatever. He was like, "Where?" He was like, "You know, Chance the Rapper, like that's my best friend." I thought he was cap, like anybody say that in Chicago. But then he pulled out his phone, and he like showing pictures of me with him and his kids and stuff. I'm like, "Yo, that's crazy." Like he was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "I was there when he got suspended." Uh, when he got suspended from school,
Mm-hmm.
expelled or whatever, and did 10 day.
Acid rap. Oh, 10
Yep.
days. 10
And
days.
then
Yep.
then Acid Rap followed. So he was just talking about that, and he ended up following me on the gram too, and
That's
he be
dope.
tapped in. So just waiting on that call from Chance.
Right, facts. Right, facts though, for sure. Shout
Give
out
me
to
one more
Chance.
chance.
Right, shout out to
For
Chance,
Right.
sure,
man, for
man.
sure, man. Doing his
Yeah.
thing for sure. That's actually a good question, man. I
Yeah.
um I want to dive in real quick. Um, we have a little segment I'm kind of throwing out there. A team don't even know about this. A little quick little segment here called This or That, and for both of you all, I got a couple of this or that options for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you guys to pick between the two. And
If you finna go where I think you finna go, I just hope they pick the right ones because it's going up today.
It's
You
not.
know what's up. You
It's
know
drum
what's
up.
up.
roll,
Man.
drum
Come
roll,
on, go ahead,
please.
go ahead,
The
hit me
first
with it.
one, all right, cool. I'm gonna come
You
out the
know what's
gate
up.
with it, man. I'm gonna come out the gate with it.
Oh
Kanye
Lord.
or Pharrell? Who's the better producer and why?
For real.
For real.
Damn, hold up. Wait a minute,
There's no question.
No
No question.
wait a
question.
minute,
There's no
That's three
question.
people
wait a
now.
Out
minute.
No
the
question.
gate.
This
Don't
I love
don't
Hell
Kanye
don't
too.
have me spoil your
no.
This coming
Kanye
from somebody that
dreams.
love
Please don't
Kanye.
have me spoil your Kanye dreams. Please don't
Oh
have me
my
do it.
God.
It's not a comparison. It's
Well,
not
I
a
ain't gonna say
comparison.
nothing. Y'all got
well,
it. Y'all
you
made
Don't
it.
get
know,
me passionate.
you know,
It's not a
Oh
comparison.
no,
And I know you're
that's
probably
what
annoyed.
I want that. I want you to
I
tell me
know you're probably annoyed, but
you
it's not a
you are a
comparison.
producer, so I want to know why for real. From ear, I ain't picking Kanye, but you a producer, so I want to know why y'all, and you a rapper, so I want to know why y'all say for real.
Well, for me, Pharrell, like in my list of top producers, obviously Dilla is one, Pharrell is two, and I would honestly put Pharrell over Dilla, but out of respect for Dilla and what he did in the game and the music I grew up as a child, it was made by Dilla, literally. So Dilla is number one, Pharrell is two. Kanye's not even in my top five, in my personal opinion. But
Yikes.
yeah, man, yeah, man, go grab a
Yeah.
shot of tequila.
Yeah.
Go grab,
Yeah.
go,
Yeah. I
go grab
almost
a shot of
walked off
tequila.
too. I
And
almost
like,
walked
and
off
like, the
too.
main thing for me is from a production aspect and everything. Kanye does have an ear, like, and that's something that in production is very, very key to not only being unique but also creating a sound. I know you're not happy, Jordan. I'm sorry, but he has an amazing ear. But in the same sense, the separation for me is the amount of help or assistance that they've had in their career. Now, granted, Pharrell was or still is with the Neptunes, but Chad took like a whole 10, 12 years off, and he held it down on his own. We can go through the catalog and see what he's been able to make that has been different genres, you name it, like that he can put his stamp on his own, like nobody else in the studio, like him playing them chords out or him, laying the drums. My issue with Kanye is like you out here screaming, "I'm a god," but you have probably like the most help out of like any producer like in the history of music. I mean, he didn't write Jesus Walks. He had hella ghostwriters, and he had hella people making beats for him that he may come through and do a puff, which that is part of production. I got an argument about that. I had to learn that is part of production. Going in and be like, yo, man, this snare should be here, or nah, like this melody should be this way. That is part of production. But as far as like the people that are in my top five, they can all sit there and cook all by themselves. And I know I'm not at the level of a Kanye or like with the accolades and stuff like that, or Pharrell or people that are on, but this body of work right here speaks for itself. I played every sound out by myself. There was nobody helping with a bass line. There was nobody helping with the melodies or chord progressions or like that's me. So that's my argument with Kanye is like he he's on this pedestal, but he's had a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of people that got him to that pedestal, and there's a lot of people that's holding that pedestal up for him that the public, in my eyes, doesn't see. Like I just said, hint, I say it again. He did not write Jesus Walks. Rhymefest wrote Jesus Walks. Three of his hottest verses, in my opinion, came from either Consequence or Sci High to Prince. When everybody's listening to Run This Town, and they're like, "Oh man, like, Ye finally got Jay. Ye finally got Jay." No, like he repeated lyrics that Sci High to Prince wrote for him.
Right.
And I'll leave y'all with this as y'all go back and listen to the catalog and listen to his music. Don't get me wrong, he has a great body of work and he has done great things, especially in the fashion realm. That he had me at one point 2 polos with collars pop. You know what I'm saying? I can't take that away. I can't take that away from him.
With the
Like
fan
he is that
glasses.
guy. Like like he is a star. But on the production side, I mean, when it comes to actually doing it all by yourself, and I've heard his stories. I've met the first person that like actually got him to deal with Rockefeller, like D. Angeletti. I met him. Like I've heard stories. Like, but to me, to my core, like for real, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You wait, and another thing too. You heard not the last the last Push T album, which was a mix of Pharrell and Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Proofs and pudding right there.
Hey.
Sorry.
So here's
No,
my
it's
thing.
not.
But here's my thing with the argument though. Like, I'm gonna go for real from a producer standpoint. Yes, production, better producer. If I had to choose who's the better producer, for real, 100%, because of the reasons why you said. But whose beats I enjoy more, I say Kanye, just for me, because I think he just has that knack to like just grab people, bro. Soul, he chop up the soul, and then even when he elevated from the soul and started doing different stuff, you know what I mean? I like his different stuff. I love Yeezus. I love the beats on Yeezus. I don't care what nobody say. Like I love those joints.
You
Like,
mean the Travis Scott beats? But okay.
see, it's. I mean, hey,
Hey, I'm gonna
but
kick dude off the
that's just
show.
my that's how I would put it. That's how I would put it. For real, is the better producer,
Yeah.
but I enjoy Kanye beats.
And that's another knock for Kanye too that like I don't like particularly about his style. Like, we're from Ohio, so I was afforded. I went to school with Kid Cudi's manager. So I remember when Dennis brought Kid Cudi to campus in '05 and like, yo, man, it's my man Scott from Shaker. What's up, bro? Like, it's before Kid Cudi, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I watched that ascension go and everything like that. And I heard somewhere through the grapevine, I won't say where, but through the grapevine that like some of the records that was on 808s and Heartbreaks was supposed to be on Cudi's album. So I'm like, Man on the Moon to me is like a top 50 album, not like hip hop, just an album to me of all time. And if you put certain songs on there like Amazing or can I take this feeling? Can't stop something. And like you take the records, put it on that, man, he might have been up there with Thriller for real. Like who knows? Because those were hit singles as well. But he's always took stuff from other artists, put them in the back, and then try to run away with a swag, in my opinion. And I really don't like that. Like that's why Hit Boy left. That's why Cudi ended up leaving. He tried to do that to Travis with the Yeezus album and it failed because Travis's sound is so distinct. It has to be done through Travis's, artistry. That's where everybody now is that like a new album. They're like, oh well, Travis's new album sounds like Yeezus. It's like no, get it the other way around. Yeezus sounds like Travis, but
Exactly. Because that new
that's
album
just.
is heat.
I'm sorry to ruffle feathers, but
That's cool. No, that's cool. You won't be back. It's all good.
I appreciate my time. I appreciate my time.
You won't be back. It's
I
cool.
honestly appreciate my time, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
No, hey
Hey,
man. I mean, hey, those are valid facts though. So I ain't gonna get too mad at you for
No,
not.
it's not.
No,
Some of
no,
Yes,
those,
it
no.
is.
We not
some of
having
those are
that.
valid
We not
It's
facts
having
though.
that.
not, bro. First of all, I
We
just
not
all
having
right,
that.
cool, cool. It's cool. I know Kanye don't write his lyrics. I know that. I'm a big Sci-Hi fan, so I know Kanye don't write. But production wise, not to have him in your top five is what Stephen A. word is. That's
Blasphemous.
blasphemy. That's blasphemous.
It's asinine. It's asinine. Okay.
Asinine,
Well,
blasphemy, all that.
well, if it's asinine, you know what? And this is me personally. I would put No ID ahead of Kanye. You from
I
you
like
from the
No
Chi?
ID.
Like you
No
from
ID
No.
you
crazy.
from Illinois? You know what No ID has done
yeah,
Yeah, I
production
know what No
wise.
ID though.
yeah, yeah,
Like
I'm
you
not
can't
putting
hit
him over yet.
he's the one that showed Kanye had him like how to
yeah,
cook and helped
yeah,
Kanye cook some of the first hits.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like,
yeah.
and he's a creative. He don't
Ooh,
have to sample. He can cook organically. That man is nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry to
that is a nice
Man, go to the
name to
next
throw
damn
out there.
question, man.
Y'all are blessed. Y'all are
Hey,
blessed.
look. Hey,
I,
I
I,
had a couple more this and that, but this one right here just took the cake. So,
I mean, nah. At least shoot us two more. At least shoot us two
go
more.
ahead, go ahead.
I'm sorry this took
Yeah,
up your
man.
time, but I
I'm about to
mean,
take
people
an
are
abrupt
passionate about
leave.
that.
all right, cool. All right, so look. Look. Jordan, bro.
This some
Hey,
shit,
man.
man. This
Hey,
some
man.
Jordan,
shit.
I'm sorry.
Kanye not a top
This some shit.
five.
So,
Jordan, you a fool, bro. I
Pharrell
love
over
you to
top.
death, bro. You a fool, man. I got a couple more this and
Man,
that's for y'all, and then I'm gonna alley oop it to CC so she can go ahead and hit y'all with a good question. But my next two this or that, and we can go ahead and talk about one and go straight into the other one. Is going to be Timberland and Swiss Beats. I'll let y'all go ahead and answer that one first before I give y'all my next one.
Timbo.
Timbo.
That's easy.
Timbo.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Timbo on that.
I gotta go
No
Timbo.
explanation. Let's keep rolling.
That's
Okay.
Timbo.
Y'all
No.
y'all don't
I
get
feel like
y'all don't get Swiss
I
no.
respect I respect
I
Even
feel
Timberland a little bit
unanimous.
more
even with the
now
Rough Rider
because
days, y'all don't give them nothing. Like,
nah, because I
Oh,
mean, like I give it to him in the Rough Rider days, but as I go back and listen to the old DMX stuff, especially the first two albums, the songs that I loved the most were produced by Dane Grease and not
Yeah,
Swiss
Dame
Beats.
Grease. Yeah,
Squeeze
Dame
Like,
me.
Grease.
you know what I'm
true.
saying? Like Swizz definitely has his own sound, and I respect him for that. He came in the game with his own sound. It's been used by him for decades now. You know what you're getting. You know you're getting that hype. You know you're getting him animated over the hook and stuff. So I appreciate that aspect of him. But I give it to Tim, and I have a newfound respect for Tim because I was actually doing my homework and found out that he actually sampled. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like he
Yeah.
actually sampled records, but he switched it and pitched it down and all type of stuff and got real technical with it. So he's Timbo easy.
Different
For
level.
sure.
Timbo.
For sure.
Okay.
Smiley must have picked Swiss Beats since you tried to argue it.
No,
But
I
it's
just
all
like
good.
playing. I just like playing devil's advocate. You know, I just want to just throw something out there. I go with Timbo too for sure all day. I mean,
All
they're
right.
both geniuses, but Timbo definitely for sure. This
Yeah.
next one, my last one before I toss it back to my girl CC. This is gonna be a rapper this or that. Switch it up a little bit. Tupac or Biggie?
Pac.
Biggie.
It was all a dream.
Oh,
Ooh.
Tupac or
I was
Biggie,
finna
1-1.
say,
It was all a
Ooh,
woo.
dream, baby.
ooh,
I
ooh,
will die on this hill.
ooh.
Pac is. I don't care what nobody got to say about Pac. Pac is the most influential rapper of all time. 100%.
I agree with that.
And
I can
and
agree with that.
and and I think what his edge over Biggie for me, yes, Biggie was probably more technical as far as like, but even still, I think Pac just pumped out so much music that he didn't even have the time to be technical. But Pac just had he had a
The
knack
impact.
to make people feel something. Like you felt and believed everything he said. Like, and yeah, that's Pac for me. It's Pac all day. My first song that I learned from Bow Heart when I was 6 was Ambitions as a Writer. So yeah.
Facts. That's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
I'm gonna go with Biggie. His like his rhyme style, his like his presence on the mic and in the game. To me, and me and Kyrie argue about this all the time, but like to me, I feel the greatest hip hop album of,
Yes,
in my eyes
sir.
of all time, like it's just a perfect album. It may not be the greatest, but it's a perfect album. Is Life After Death.
Yes, sir.
Like that album is almost what 20 years old, and you can be used to sin, and
Yeah.
still but it still sets the tone and the vibe today, 20 years
Mm-hmm.
later. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like that album aged so
Yes,
well.
sir.
More
Facts.
money, more problems. You know what I'm saying? Niggas bleed. Like that album to me, like I tell you, it's the perfect album because it gives you the street stuff. It gives you stuff for the ladies. It gives you the stories. It gives you the the motivational.
Sky's
Sky's
the
the
limit.
limit. Come on, man. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you
so a
saved
Mm-hmm.
tiger
yourself.
from a
You
shirt
may
from
be able to come back to
alligators.
episode 2, man.
Yeah, he can come back. He can come back,
You can
Jordan.
come back.
Jordan, he can come back. He can come back.
You,
He can
Now,
come
you
back.
can come back.
like I stand on my 10 on like what I believe in, and
Yeah.
like I just feel like that album, like Life After Death, to me is the greatest and most perfect project. Like sonically, lyrically, storytelling wise, what he brought to the table. And I know Spock has abundance of work. My issue, like I always had with Pac, I don't like Hit 'Em Up. I might be the one only person in America that don't like that song. Maybe because I am a Biggie fan. But like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, y'all getting hype over a song that y'all listen to the first minute and 38 seconds, but Tupac says and the Outlaws rap, y'all cut it off. Okay. Greatest hits, but it be like it's with greatest this record. But Pac,
It's not.
I love his positive stuff. Like I Wonder If Heaven Got a Ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So many
Mm-hmm.
tears. Like I love that intro. I love that part of
Yeah.
Pac more than I love Ambitions of a Rider and like the hype stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean I definitely appreciate them
Nah,
both,
dang,
but
for sure.
I definitely appreciate them both. But like I take Big with that. And even though Big only had two albums,
Right.
that second one, man, a lot of people want to be where they are if he was alive and progressed past that. I'm just
Right.
saying.
Right. Good answer.
So
I like it.
First off,
Hey,
fuck.
bro, man.
My
In the cricket
portfolio
plan.
please don't grow.
Like,
Yeah.
well, goddamn, like, what's going on?
Man, come on now, Pop. Chill out.
That's perfect. Hey, he came out the gate swinging tough. First off, fuck
Right.
swinging.
The first 10 seconds is crazy. You're like, hold on.
Right. Say it again,
That's
bro.
not.
Like
Well, I
literally.
mean, to Aviator point, that's all you listen to the first verse, and you turn it off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You right. That's a
Yeah.
good one. That's a good one.
Nobody can spit that Idi Amin verse. I know what you know. I
No.
take that back. No disrespect to Idi Amin. People know that song front and back, and I've literally watched it been played in the club several times. Where like people have like the DJ throw it on just for nostalgia feel, and people will know the whole song. So I don't want to take anything away from the Outlaws, but Tupac was the star of that track. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
And,
He
right.
said he gonna let his youngins get him. That's what he
right.
said.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Basically.
they got
They ain't
off,
get
but
him.
I mean,
They ain't
Yeah,
get
I don't
him.
know if they got him, but
They
you're
ain't
right.
get
I
him.
don't know if they got off, but
They ain't get him.
Facts.
That's all good.
Cool. Perfect. Well, thank y'all for
Madam.
participating in my this or that segment. Just went out on a limb with it, so thank y'all. I appreciate y'all's feedback. CC, I'm gonna go ahead and toss it off to you. You know what I'm saying? You've been in the cut over there chilling a little bit.
I've been chilling because I've been thinking of a question because Jordan's questions was close to my question, so I was like, man, I got to think of something different.
Beat you to it.
Let's see. Who are for both of you, biggest influences then and now? So from a child up until right now, like who's your big influence now as well? Big.
I'll let you go, Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
From a kid, Bow Wow was my first favorite rapper.
Hey, show my
You
man's
said a
Bow Wow some
lot.
love, man.
Some
That's
respect.
a little
Show my
young
man's
goat right
Bow
there,
Wow
boy.
some love.
Come on,
Little
Ohio, put
young
some
goat.
respect on Shad Moss, man.
Right.
Real.
Get to the O-Dub. You riding
Might be
your
my
girl.
cousin the whole time.
That was my first concert too. That was the first
Okay.
concert I went to, Bow Wow. So big influence. and then Pop, then Jay-Z, then Nas. Like that whole
Mm,
era, like that was, from that time span, I was like 6 up until like 10, 11. That's
Yeah,
all I was really listening to, for real. Like, well, those are my favorites. I listen to everything, but
yeah,
those cats were my favorite. Like, and then once I started getting to like high school, I started diving into like the blog era and stuff. That's when like Cole, Kendrick, uh, Nipsey, all those guys that I started putting them all on my iPod. And, I had the iPod, the big joint, the brick joint,
yeah.
and I was
It still
putting them on.
continues over
Was getting
here.
my whole high
Yes,
school hip.
sir.
You walking
Yeah,
yeah.
around like this with the mug.
you hear me? Like, and I would say like that era right there is like, cause I was about when Cole and them was coming out, I was about 13, I think, like 13 or 14 when Cole and them was coming out, and that influenced me like big time, like, and to even still to this day, like that era is still my favorite era because that influenced me, made me really, really want to take music serious and really start and wanted to put out music. I started selling my own mixtape when I heard theirs, you know what I'm saying? I started selling my own in high school. And then from there, I would say that was pretty much it. From there, I like everybody now. Like, I like a lot of people now, but those are like my main influences, like the Kendricks, the Coles, Hove, Nas, Andre 3000. Uh, those are some of my favorites that I really look to draw inspiration of and like mix and pot and try to make something of my own.
Okay.
I like that.
Um, I'm not saying any dates or anything like that. Not gonna further age myself, but
Back in the
what
50s,
one of my like my first rap influence was actually LL Cool J.
mm,
And the reason was in that era, like in the '90s, he was just like, I mean, I obviously wasn't there for the I'm Bad era. I mean, I was, but I wasn't old enough to understand that. Like, but like when I started to hear music for real, LL held it down with the diversity within his presence and his flow. I mean, he was an icon. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the
mm-hmm,
first icon I can remember as a kid was LL. He had a TV
Mm.
show. He was starting to get in movies. He
mm-hmm,
could rap a song for the ladies like "Hey Lover" or the wild freaky song "Doing It." Or
mm-hmm.
then if you try to
Yeah.
test them, 4, 3, 2, 1. So
Right.
L L is a legend. I mean, I just watched a podcast today, and like Black Thought gave him his props, and also I think it was Black Thought or it was either Questlove, but it was like LL's the first MC to give us a 16 bar verse. Like that like he's an icon. So I would say L, then obviously J Big, Pharrell still to this day. I'm a big NERD fan. Like I love NERD. I went to his show. It was one of the best shows I've ever been to in my life. Um, and then I was an artist in the blog era, so I was always listening to the Coles, the Kendricks, the Kendrick Lamar LP, which people was, oh yeah, I'm a Kendrick fan. Like, yes, for his album was Section 80. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
No.
No, sir.
Like, go back and get that Kendrick Lamar LP and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not the mixtape, like the first, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that
Yeah.
influenced me. But Lupe was really big in that blog era for me. Like, I loved Lupe, and still to this day, still appreciate his body as a work. It makes you think. It makes me pick up my phone and Google something every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like that music where I can take something from and grow. And also I can't forget about the raucous era too, like the Most Def, the Black, like Black Thought, Tyler Kweli, DJ High Tech. Like that was a big era for me too. But
Them some spitters right
musically,
there, boy.
Yeah.
Whole
yeah,
Them
time.
some spitters.
you
Exactly.
know what I'm
Them some
saying? Like,
spitters.
so musically, that's like what helped, mold that artistry. But when it comes to production and stuff, it's still like, man, Pharrell, like that's the guy, man. Like that's the guy.
We
Facts.
get it. We get it.
Facts.
We
Right.
Facts.
get it.
Whatever. Yeah. Whatever.
Facts.
Whatever, bro.
We
Facts.
get it. You see, he slid
Facts.
in. He slid Pharrell in there 3, 4 times.
Hey, you.
As
You
come on
man.
now, man.
Hey, you.
I mean, like, you know what I'm
You're
saying?
hanging
Like,
in, man.
He hanging there. Ooh,
hey man,
ooh.
I give response. I mean, like, I give props and respect where it's due. And for him, like, have you ever seen Pharrell mad?
Never.
No.
You know what
Nah,
I'm
that's why he
saying?
made happy.
Like he's celebrating. Like,
America's
I mean, like, I think I've only
unhappy.
seen on like maybe one interview where he like spazzed out about somebody jocking some fashion or something like that, or like it was quoted wrong in the magazine or something like that. But like to me that's the definition of high vibration. You know what I'm saying? Like being positive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
and through the years, the music that he's put out and everything, that resonates within that. So I feel like
Facts.
that's why he's still here production wise, man. He still gives the game something new after 20 plus years. So
You're right. You're
True.
right. I
True.
definitely agree. I definitely
yeah.
agree real quick.
Nice
I definitely
answer.
agree. That's dope.
Good
I
answer.
That's
Good
got,
dope.
I,
answer.
I got something for him.
oh boy.
It's for both of y'all.
There you go.
Put together your dream song, feature,
Oh,
Mm.
production,
Producer. Yeah.
your dream song.
I got you. So give me. I'm gonna start with the production. Give me Primo on the
Okay.
production, but it can't. I don't want no. I want something like I don't want no like classic Primo. I want some Primo that's gonna be like different.
Right.
Cause I say that to say this. Cause I want 3 stacks on the verse.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I want Stevie Wonder singing a hook,
Mm.
and then I want Hove, and then give me Hove on the second verse, then third verse. Nah, Hove got to be last. Second, Andre open it up. Stevie on the hook. Second verse will go to Kendrick.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's heat.
Okay.
That's
that's
nice.
different.
That's
That's a
definitely
Yeah.
different.
classic.
That's
Stevie Wonder
different.
is my favorite artist of all time.
That's
Like
dope.
in general, like he's my favorite. I need a song with him for sure.
I believe that man can see, but that's a whole
He can
different
see.
conversation.
He can. Man, listen. I be telling people all the time that brother can see.
You can
They said
see.
he
He can
can
see.
see, but like he can't like he's not able to see like images or something like that. But he can see like
No, he's not
stuff.
blind.
You're right.
Yeah, like he's like
Like they said it.
That's
somebody
That's
threw
a
that's
a
a
good one.
nice song.
basketball and he caught it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
That song is fire.
Hey man, look,
That song
y'all,
is
we're
nice.
not gonna talk about Stevie like how Dr. Dre talked about Stevie, y'all.
Yeah,
If
I
y'all seen
did.
that video, Dr. Dre turned
Yeah,
into a
Yeah.
straight comedian, y'all. So we're gonna give Stevie his flowers.
For sure.
For
That's a
sure.
fire song. That's a
Yeah.
fire
Yeah, that
song.
Yeah,
song
that's
fire.
heat.
That's
That's
fire.
heat.
Yeah.
That's heat.
my dream song.
Production by Pharrell.
Yeah, we know that.
We know
We know
that.
that. Let's keep it
It's
pushing.
actually gonna be a collaboration though.
Ooh, here we go.
It's actually gonna be a
Ooh.
collaboration.
You
So
want a Pharrell and Kanye beat?
nope. I heard number one and I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
Um, but I would go with a combination of producers between Pharrell, Dungeon Family, and Childish Gambino.
Mm,
Um, so
I
that would
like
be the
that.
production layout. For actually on the record, I'm gonna keep it Atlanta. So I would say Andre 3000 on the verse, a verse from Childish, and a verse from CeeLo, and also a verse from Ti.
man, where Luda at, man?
Ooh,
Oh, oh.
Dang, but
Man,
ooh.
that's
Luda's
still
Luda's
cold.
from Springfield, man.
Yeah, Luda.
Right.
He
I
really
mean,
didn't
no
grow
doubt.
up
I
though.
mean,
Luda,
like, no
He
Luda's from
really
doubt.
didn't
Luda.
grow up
Luda,
down here though.
Luda definitely fulfills like my theory of like if your first 3 albums are amazing, like great, you'll have a career forever. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like Back for the First Time, Word of
Chicken and
Mouth, and
beer.
Chicken and Beer. He
Yeah.
can tour for life off those 3 albums. You know, if you
Yes,
go to
sir.
another context of
Luda.
Jeezy, you know what I'm saying? Jeezy's first 3 albums, people kind of question 102 or
Motivation
whatever.
101, man, was the ish.
Nah, 101
Classic.
was just a
101 is
classic,
classic.
Classic.
classic. But like a lot of artists from like those first 3 albums, they have a successful career. So shout out to Luda, he's still around today. But for
Luda.
my perfect track, I will put Ti in there and kind of have being that CeeLo and Childish are MCs and also vocalists, have him do the hook.
That is
Mm,
nice. That's different
I like
too. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like that as well.
I
Like that
like
as well.
that.
Great,
Yeah.
great
It's
answer.
the
Great
fact that he
answer,
threw
Joe.
in Childish Gambino.
That's different
Right.
right there.
That Childish, so
Production
that's
and
sold me.
singing.
That sold me. The Childish Gambino sold me.
Bino's nice.
No, he's
Yeah,
real
he's
nice,
nice.
man.
Like as far as a Renaissance person, I feel like he picked up the torch where Andre 3000 put it down.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
like what I mean by that is renaissance, not just music, but like
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
way he's done television. You
Yep.
know, he was a screenwriter on 30 Rock first. Then he was on what was that show he was on? Like we was
Atlanta.
acting. No, like before Atlanta, like he was on an actual TV show on NBC.
The
Um,
Community.
was
Oh.
it the Big Bang? No, not the Big Bang
No,
Theory.
The
No.
Community.
No.
Uh.
Community. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Community.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Community.
Okay.
So he was on there. Then he went to do the music, and then he rapped, and then he sang, and then he did more movies, and he got
He
into
did
more
stand up too.
huh?
He
Yes.
did
Facts.
stand up.
Oh yeah, his
Facts.
stand-up special was hilarious. Like he has
Yep.
one of the best like jokes. I'm like, how did he mix AIDS and kids together? And it's funny, but like go and watch it. Like it's really amazing. But
Man, I
like,
wanted him and Chance to be on the record together. I feel like that would have
Yeah.
been beautiful.
oh, they got one though on
Like
an
a whole
acid.
album,
On act.
like an
Oh,
album, like an
you
album.
know
Like,
you know the album that I really want, and like I think it'll be dope because everybody's doing these little collab albums and stuff now. But I feel like if CeeLo Green and Childish did an album together,
That'd be nuts.
it's game
Shit, what?
changing. Like just like that would
I feel like
be
it
like
go over a lot of people's heads. For real.
it would. I mean, but you know they can handle the rhyming, they can definitely handle the singing. The
Hmm.
beats on there like would definitely be different. But I feel
Groovy as
like them
hell.
two, if they ever did a collab
Funky.
album, I'm there for it. Like if fucking, I didn't mean to cuss. I'm sorry,
Are you
but
good?
if Bruno and what's our boy from out west,
Anderson
uh,
Paak.
Anderson .Paak, if they can
That's
do a
my boy,
collab album,
man.
come on, like
Right.
I'm saying this to the universe through this podcast.
Yeah.
Come through with that collab, man. Like
Yeah.
that would probably be a beautiful project in my mind. Like
Yep.
sonically, like they would definitely bring something different.
Yep.
For sure.
I agree.
Definitely.
I agree. And
Right answer, Joe.
that's a great point that you touched on, Aviator Hughes. The sound, it'll be different, or everything would just flow.
Mm.
That leads me to my next segment because I'm really excited to talk about this because I want to hear about it for sure because I'm sure none of us have been to this place. You spent some time in Spain, Kyrie,
Mhm.
and seeing some of the videos. You look like a rock star over there, bro. Like that's dope. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so for me personally and for the team as well. What was it like being over there? How long were you over there? You know, like were you in a space where you like grew based off of their culture? You know, like as far as music goes, did you take anything from their culture and add it to your music, or did you notice that your music already complemented their culture in a sense? Like, what did that look like for you?
Yeah, man. Incredible experience. First off, like, I was over there for about 12 days,
Mm-hmm.
and had 10 shows. And the first night there, I didn't know what to expect, but they were like my first night I had to play with a band. I had to perform with a band. And I didn't meet none of these band members at all. But they were so musically gifted that all they did was listen to my songs and they transposed my music that I sent to them and they had it ready to go. So we didn't even rehearse nothing. Like literally, we we came from Madrid to Valencia and we was at the venue and I had like an hour before to meet with them and we was like, yeah, we just gonna rock out. And it was crazy. And that set the tone for the whole tour. And one thing I noticed about like being out there, they automatically, gravitate to a hip hop culture. And the first night there, 5 people that was in that building at that show followed me to the next show, to my next show on tour. And then it just kept growing from there. Then more people from that show followed me to the next show. So it became this thing where I built a fan base in a matter of 2 weeks. That I feel like if I had one more week out there or just a month, I would have been like
Rockstar,
out of here. Like Valencia,
rockstar,
like
yeah.
Spain would have been on lock like that. And you know, it was just an experience, man, just being out there. And as far as like musicality, the record Smokescreen that's on the album, I wrote that while I was in Spain. Like he sent me the beat. He's like, yo, I cooked up. Like this, you like this? I don't know if you're gonna like it. I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is exactly what I need because like it was so upbeat and all the music out there, like they got this thing called reggaeton, where it's derived from like reggae, but it's just like sped up. It's like real fast reggae. And the tempo is really high. So when he sent that beat, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to snap. Like I'm already in that mode to where like I'm feeling that type of, that type of tempo and that type of speed. And I wrote that record out there. So that was definitely influenced by just being in Spain, being in that environment. But yeah, man, overall it was just an incredible experience, and I encourage everybody, like any artist, to like really go overseas and perform over there, man, and just and get your music out there to them people because they gonna love it. They gonna love it.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. Yeah, yeah, that's dope. I've never heard of an
That's love,
experience like
man.
that before. So, yeah, that's definitely love. Do you plan on going back to Europe? If so, like, do you have any other areas, or you want to go running back to Spain real quick? You mean like,
And bring me with you.
all right?
Oh, 100%. Nah, for sure. That's definitely the plan.
It's in the. I'll put my manager hat on. It's in the.
Yeah,
It's in the talks. Like
Okay.
it's in the
yeah,
discussion. It's still being formulated. Some things were like while he was over there, it was filming being done, like a film crew and stuff. So I think that's all I can really say. But it's a process. But they are, and we are in talks with working that extension out to go back over there, but also hitting up some other markets as well. So it will be in multiple countries on the second go round.
Nice.
That's what's
I
up,
signed the
man. For real.
NDA. I think that's all I can say.
Oh, well, you know
I mean,
what? That's great. That's great, bro. That's all you can say. Because guess what? I can say this: if you guys do run it back to Spain, you're going to need somebody to be, like your commentators. You're going to need a podcast,
something like that. You know what I
to
mean?
promote
Hey,
everything that you're doing. So if you need
100%.
someone on your team, just give us a holler. We'll definitely hop on the next thing smoking and be in Spain, hitting them with the all day. I
Okay,
promise you, we'll be out there going
Say
crazy.
less. Say
I'll
less.
definitely
Promise
keep
you.
that in mind, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like the energy here is beautiful. Even though I was almost kicked off of my comments and commentary, but
At
it's
least
all
you know. At
love.
least you know.
It's all love.
Hey man, nah man, definitely man. EYMF podcast will definitely support Kyrie BTB and Aviator Hughes, and we'll definitely support y'all in Spain. So keep us posted for
Definitely.
sure,
No
For
doubt.
sure.
for
Know that.
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
No doubt.
Know that.
Nah man, but y'all dope, bro. Definitely, like you said, man. The energy's been great. We appreciate y'all. I mean, from top to bottom, just learning a lot about y'all. The insight and everything has been amazing. So once again, from the EYMF Enterprise, we definitely want to say thank y'all for joining us today, man. It's been
No doubt.
amazing. You see my boy. You see my boy. You see him. You
I
see
see
him
it.
with the
I see
official
it.
Yes, sir.
EYMF podcast shirt.
Gotta cop
And
one.
and
Gotta
and
Yes,
world,
sir.
we're gonna take a second right now to let y'all know. Yes, this is the EYMF podcast, and we are powered through the EYMF Enterprise. But we got a lot of hot content coming for y'all. And since we have Kyrie and Aviator Hughes on the show, I'm gonna go ahead and drop a bomb real quick. This is the first breaking news of this. We will be doing a music review on The World's a Stage, the album, on our newest music segment titled The Mic that will be dropping soon with Meg and CP. So
Let's go.
first album on the music segment,
I
first
got something
release
to
of
say. They
the
should feature me.
hey, you know what? We're gonna
Come
have
through. Come through,
yeah,
Jordan.
yeah,
Come
we're gonna have
through.
Jordan come
Come
through.
through.
But they will definitely be airing their first episode of the mic here soon. And the first album that will be debuting the mic will be The World's a Stage. So
Love,
Yeah, fact.
hey,
love.
yes, definitely, y'all. I had to make that breaking news. It's only right. But
I
once
should tell
again,
Jordan a story that will probably upset him when he first hears the project.
Oh my
He's
God.
such
Here
a
we go.
Kanye fan.
go ahead, hey, bro,
Like Kyrie, should I
go
tell
ahead
him?
and wrap the show
Yeah,
up with a
man.
great story. Wrap it up with a great
Okay,
story.
so the
A great
first,
story, huh?
like
Right.
the first song on there, obviously is Overture, The World's a Stage, right? So The World's a Stage, that record came about like 2 years ago, Kyrie, like about like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, when we were like really like 2020 for real. And me and him got in an argument about the Kanye, you know, situation, whatever like that. And I'm just up there adamantly saying like, Kanye's not great. I'm stating my points. He's like, nah, man, but da-da-da-da. And I was like, man, Dr. Do what he did. Da-da-da-da. Went home angry and like grabbed my keyboard. I'm just talking about. Da-da-da-da-da. So like, I went home and did that like because we were tipsy. We were at a bar, you know, threw back a few or whatever. And I went home and like I cooked that up. And like I remember I called him probably like 1 o'clock in the morning, like, listen to this now. See, Kanye style beat. Easy. And tell me that. And like he was like, oh, this is hard. I'm like, oh, wait, what? Like I was doing this as a joke, you know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, like I'm gonna use this. So he like I sent him the beat and we went back to like that bar like that following Friday and what he spit on it, I was like sitting back in my seat like, wait, like, what did you just say? Like and basically it's the verses that you hear on that now, but he spent that like 2 years ago, and I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, we got to record that. We was at the time we were in the structure of a series of projects, which was
Yeah.
This Is How We Feel. So we didn't have a place to kind of put that record, but it ended up coming out, now on the World's a Stage. But like, yeah, the drums on there are definitely Kanye inspired. I
There
can
you
say
go.
Oh,
What a better
yeah.
way to wrap up the show than a Kanye appreciation story. You know,
That's all I need to hear.
look,
well
look,
rounded. I mean, it's well
You
rounded.
you
I mean,
you
you made
you
him
get a
mad.
single
Well
clap. You get a
rounded.
single clap.
Right, right. You made him mad. He gave me a clap. He gave me a single
Bow.
golf clap.
man, that's priceless, man. Once again, Kyrie, Aviator Hughes, thank y'all for sliding by the EYMF podcast, chopping it up with us.
Much love.
Definitely
Much
greatly
love.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Definitely.
And to the
for
best
sure.
podcast team in the podcast world, -2, Meg and Noonie B. We ain't forgot about y'all. We held it down
Yes,
for y'all.
sir.
I love and appreciate y'all, man, from the bottom of my heart. Ed, this one for you. And we're gonna go ahead and wrap this show
Yes.
up with
Yeah.
one of the hottest tracks on the album, y'all. Till next time, world. Hey, I'll at y'all later.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the sounds of the hottest song right now on the radio.
I was down on my luck, okay, stuck down to my last buck, okay, EBT had to run it up, okay, where my lunch, okay, checks, I need a bunch, feel the rush, fill my cup till it's up, Henny on ice tryna live my life, when I name my price, better not switch up, whoa, hey, riding on hand like Tesla, turn around now, gotta talk it like Alexa. Yeah, extra. Still outside, they was trapping with the tether. Getting no cheese.